Alright, I'm here with David from Hyperkin, and we're going to be talking about the new Retron 5 that they're going to be coming out with. Tell me a little bit about the big announcement that you guys had.
Well, we're actually very excited about the new Retron 5 that will be coming out very soon. And the coolest thing is the fact that we've actually built a lot of these things from the ground up. So we took a lot of suggestions and feedback that we get from a lot of the retro gamers and a lot of conventions that we've been through to improve upon the system. Now, like, obviously we wanted to ensure that like people will be able to play their old consoles and old games onto a modern TV like the HD TVs. And the biggest problems with that is the fact that it doesn't look so good when you put it on there. So, you know, for example, we have an HDMI output on there that allows you to have a maximum resolution of 720p, and it has built-in shaders in there. So it allows for you to make the picture a lot cleaner, a lot crisper, and, you know, a lot more vibrant with the colors as well.
Yeah, you were just showing me F-Zero, and it looked very, very good on the TV.
Oh yeah, and you know, obviously this is just the alpha prototype right now, but you know, our goal is to try to see if we can fill up the screen as much as possible, but also to have the experience where, you know, you have when you grew up as a kid, but make it a little bit more better for the modern day games.
Yeah, most people expect when playing the newer games, it's hard for them to go backwards, and they see the fuzziness of the games and them just trying to get to play the games.
Yes.
With a system like this, I think it'd bring it to a whole other market, because people that generally are like graphic freaks are going to be looking at this, and it's going to be a little easier for them to go backwards and play something like this.
Obviously, like a lot of different, a lot of different games, they don't really hold up well when you actually play them on the HD TV. So we're hoping that, you know, it'll rejuvenate a lot of other people into buying these older games and playing these older games again.
Absolutely. What would be your favorite new thing about this new system?
Well, one of the coolest things that you could do is you can actually save the game at any point. And the fact that, like, you know, some games that are, you know, very difficult and don't really have saves, you know, allow gamers to actually play those really, really difficult games like Castlevania for NES.
Yeah,
you know, because you know, at any point in the game you'll be able to access the in-game menu, where you'll be able to save the game and then load it from any time you want.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, even playing some games like Zelda, I mean, you have batteries in them and they do die. So being able to save your game even without the battery being in there, I mean, that would be...
Oh yeah, and we'll definitely be able to allow users to have the ability to save the games onto the hard drive through another card, or even on the cartridge itself.
How much memory you're going to be able to have on the system itself?
Well, at the moment we don't really know exactly how much we're going to put in there, but we want to put enough to where gamers will be able to save as many, a good number of saves on it.
Okay, awesome, great. Let's talk about this controller some. It's a big change from your Retron 3.
Oh yeah, obviously what we wanted to do is make improvements upon a Retron 3 controller, and the biggest thing is the fact that it has it's Bluetooth. We utilize Bluetooth technology for it, so you know, you won't lose a sync for up to like 15 feet. But what's also unique to this controller is that we use a micro switch directional pad instead of a traditional D.
Yeah, you can feel it. That like the Neo Geo had that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that feels great. You can feel the movement of the controller instead of just being willy-nilly kind of flopping all over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it does feel a lot nicer. And I like the clicky sound too.
Yeah, you get that. Get the arcade control feel of it. I mean, this looks great. I mean, these are I'm assuming these are rechargeable.
Oh yes, it has a lithium-ion rechargeable battery in there, so you'll be able to charge it up when you plug it in through a USB port on the Retron 5.
Very nice, very nice. And you guys are thinking probably this summer, late summer?
We're hoping this summer, and you know, we don't have a definitive date right now, and that's the reason why we want to do that, is to give our developers enough time to perfect the system.
Yeah,
because we want to hear. Oh, exactly. Like, I mean, with the Wii U, you know, when we released the Wii U, you know, you had to update the system for almost an hour.
Oh yeah.
And some people weren't able
frustrating.
to. Oh, definitely. So we don't want to provide that kind of experience for our users.
In your announcement, you did say that you were probably going to be doing updates for the system itself. Is that what's going to be in the future?
Oh yeah, definitely. The fact is, let me elaborate upon the entire system and everything like that. But like, you know, from the ground up, we created our own game user interface, which will allow users to actually access their systems through the television screen instead of manually going through the actual console.
Getting up and switching this.
Oh, definitely. I mean, with the save states, it'll also allow you to use any controller that you want to play any kind of system. So if you want to use a SNES controller to play a Genesis game, you can do that.
Very nice.
But another cool feature is that we'd be able to remap all the buttons, not only on the wireless controller, but for the every controller as well.
Oh, that's neat. When I heard that, I was thinking it was just for this controller, but you can remap your Super Nintendo or Sega controllers.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, because we do realize that some people like to play with different button setups and things like that. And a lot of games, they don't really allow you to do that even in their in-game menu.
Like I love the Super Nintendo controller, and playing some of the Genesis games on some of your previous systems.
Yes.
Trying to play like with the Super Nintendo controller on something else, it was very frustrating because the buttons are completely different. I mean, as growing up, you play with the Super Nintendo controller or Sega controller, you have certain the way the controller feels, and being able to remap that's very, very great. I didn't realize that. That's great.
Oh yeah, and like if you look on the controller here as well, there are actually 2 macro buttons. So it allows you to actually program a lot of different functionalities. Like if you're playing like Street Fighter Alpha 2, and you want to do the Raging Demon with the Akuma, you can actually program one of these buttons just to do all those button commands and things.
That is awesome.
But also, what's new to the user interface and everything that we'll be building up together is the fact that it also allows for passive and manual overclocking. So if you're playing some of like the JRPG games or some of these RPG games, and they take a really, really long time through all the text, and you can't really skip through them. The overclocking will allow you to fast forward or speed up the system, so you can actually speed up some of those things.
This is a very impressive system. I mean, I've seen the other companies, what they've done, and some of the previous generations of the system. I mean, this is the first system that I think you guys have really, you've taken it to the next level. You've raised the bar on reproduction systems.
Oh, thank you.
And it's I've been skeptical of a lot of the systems. I mean, I'm the kind of person like I love my old systems. I love playing with them. With this, I was very impressed. Very impressed.
Well, thank you. I mean, we really aim to try to create a system that we know a lot of the old collectors have all their systems, but there's only a certain amount of input ports in there, so that it takes up a lot of shelf space, a lot of cable space. So we wanted to minimize those kind of things, but provide the modern amenities that a lot of the current gen gamers have for a lot of these retro games.
Yeah, I mean it's with the ability to load games from where they're at, you're adding more than just a system that plays the games. You're adding a system that adds functionality to the games that you would wanted back when the games were there, like loading games and saving games at points that you have, and you've really done a great job of doing this. I really appreciate it.
And for us, it's like a fan service. I mean, we go to a lot of the retro gaming shows, a lot of conventions. We take a lot of these suggestions seriously, like on Facebook and Twitter. We're very active in the social media as well as the retro community, and we wanted to actually have all those voices heard. So we encourage a lot of users to actually follow us on Facebook and Twitter and give us their suggestions, because we're still in development, and if we can do something to actually incorporate it into our new system, that'd be perfect.
Go ahead and tell them how they can get a hold of you, your Facebook and Twitter.
Well, you can follow us at Hyperkin Games on Facebook, and you can also follow us at Hyperkin on Twitter as well.
Very cool. Thank you, David. I really appreciate you coming on today.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Make sure you follow them and like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.